my fellow archery people. Today I'm going to be talking to you about arrow rests, which one you should pick for your bow, good rests that you can use if you're starting out, experience, target shooting, whatever you're going to be doing. I'm going to talk to you about my opinion on arrow rests, what I like, what I actually have on my bow. I'll show you what I have on my bows, and yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so when you're going out to pick arrow rests, there's two kinds of arrow rests that you can really choose from. There's probably a lot more, but these are the main basic ones. So you got Whisker Biscuits and you've got Dropaways. So I'm going to start with Whisker Biscuits. Whisker Biscuits, they're really good rests. It depends on how much you want to spend on them. There's ones that are really cheap, fairly cheap, from around maybe 15 to 20 bucks. They're smaller, and the whiskers on them are actually really, really thin. That's why I don't like those cheap rests, because you shoot them for so many times and then the whiskers just get weak in it. They get worn out. The arrow starts to fall into them. It's not really a good deal. Now there's Whisker Biscuits that you can actually get into that are like 40 bucks, 50 bucks, that are actually, they have more whiskers in them. They're thicker. They're more durable. Those will last you a quite decent amount of shots. I mean, they really will. If you go and watch Pigman Outdoors on his Bear Carnage, he's got a Whisker Biscuit. He shoots a Whisker Biscuit. There's nothing wrong with the Whisker Biscuit. I just prefer otherwise. Same with those, though. I mean, you put so many shots through them. Granted, you're going to get more shots out of it, but with going through so many shots, the whiskers are just, they're going to weaken up. That's the main problem with them, and they wear out, and you're going to have to get a new one. So I mean, that's really my opinion on Whisker Biscuits. They're great for any type of beginner shooter, anybody that's looking to get into archery. They're great rests because they're less of a hassle for the beginner to actually learn and how to use. You just set the arrow in, knock your arrow, and shoot. I mean, that's it. So it's not really a hassle to any beginner shooters, and once they get experience, they can go and upgrade to something like a Dropaway. Now, Dropaways, what I'm going to talk about next, I actually have a QAD Hunter HTX on my Matthews Z7, which I will show you, and I have a QED regular Hunter on my Matthews Apex 7. That's my target bow. So there's a lot of different type of drop-away rests. You've got your QADs that you actually tie into your bus cable, and when you draw back, it will flip up to 90 degrees. And if you let down, or if you decide to let down, it will just cock back and it will actually stay up in motion, will lock in motion. If you shoot, it will fully drop down. If you hit the button and let it go really fast, which I will show you, it will drop down. And that's the thing I like about those. They're also caged. So, I mean, you can twist your bow either way. The arrow's not going to fall out. There's no way for the arrow to fall out. Now the thing that I like about the QADs is that they're light, they're really forgiving. I've had mine for maybe 3 or 4 years, have not had a single freaking problem with it. I absolutely love it. I've had different ones like the Trophy Taker rests, just different type of dropaways I've had. They're really good, but the only thing that I don't like about them is that my bow has a lot of let off on it. My Z7 has let off on it. It's got a good back wall. So when I'm drawing back and I hit that valley point and it breaks, when I use the Trophy Taker rest, the arrow would always pop up into place. The thing I like about the QAD is that you lock it in, it stays up, you draw back, you get to full draw, and it just goes straight up to 90 degrees. Again, they're more forgiving rests. Like the dropaways, like the Trophy Takers, they're not fully enclosed. They are enclosed and they come up to like right here, and then there's a little space up top to where you can get your arrow in and out. They're good rests, don't get me wrong. They're accurate, they're great rests. I would suggest them, go ahead and get them. But if I had to suggest any type of rest on the market, I would go and tell you to get a QAD. Any type of QAD would be a great rest. You won't be disappointed. They're super accurate. They're awesome. There's also not QADs, excuse me. There's also dropaways that are limb driven. So the rest will be at lower level and it will be sitting basically on the shelf. So what happens when you draw the bow back, the limbs the string is actually, instead of being tied into the bus cable, is actually tied up on the limb. So when you go and you tie it, you're going to draw it back, and when the limbs flex to when you're at full draw, it will actually raise that rest up. And when you shoot, when the limbs go into their normal position, the rest will drop back down. I've never used one of those personally. A lot of people love them. A couple guys I work with have the Vapor Trail ones. Those seem to be really popular. I haven't shot them. I haven't used anything like that. So if you have one, let me know in the comments how you like them. But in the meantime, here I'm going to go get my bows, and I'm going to show you the components of the QADs and why I like the QADs. So yeah, see you in a bit. Alright guys, so I got my Z7 here, and I'm going to talk to you more about the QAD rest. Alright, I'm going to have to go really quick here because I don't have a whole lot of storage on my phone. But here's what we got here. This is the QAD Hunter HTX. Mine is Matthews branded. There's also Hoyt branded ones. The only difference between the Matthews, the Hoyt ones, and the regular ones that come out with QAD, the Matthews ones and the Hoyt ones, depending on, or I guess with any Hoyt or Matthews branded one, they will sit flush to the riser. They're going to fit better. They're going to be more adjustable with the bow and all that other kind of stuff. So the way these work, they've got a concealment cage right there, and here's the initial arrow rest and what all comes up. So when I'm going and I'm sitting in a tree stand, I will actually go and knock my arrow and set it up just like that, and that way it's ready to go and everything's there. And when I don't have it, this didn't come with it, but I've got a little arrow holder thing right there. I don't know exactly the technical term that you would call it, but I like it just because it's off a different rest, but I like it just because it sits there and won't move from side to side, doesn't make a lot of noise with hitting the riser and all that other stuff. So I'll go sit in the tree stand, knock it up like that. Now when these things are at full draw, they will actually raise up to 90 degrees like that. And when you shoot the bow, it drops down like that. It's not gonna mess with any of the fletchings. It's not gonna do any of that stuff. So, and then the other reason I like them too is that if you've got a deer behind a bush or something and you're at full draw and you're ready to let down, it stays right there. You're not making any noise whatsoever. It's gonna be perfect. I mean, they're great. That's why I like them. And with different rests like the trophy takers and all that other stuff, they drop down. So if you go and you drop down really fast, I mean, there's possible risk that, there's possible risk that the arrow is going to hit the riser or make some sort of noise, and that could scare your deer away. Now, the only difference, I didn't bring my target bow in, but the difference between these Hunter HDXs and the regular Hunters. The Hunters are $60. The Hunter HDXs are $120, I believe, is what we got them for at Shields. The only difference is that you don't have the range of motion up and down with the Hunters. The only range of motion that you have is moving it left or right. With these Hunter HDXs, you can move them up and down and left to right. And the concealments on the Hunters, I think, are a little more, my opinion, I think they're a little more cheaper. That's the only bad thing that I have to say about them, but I actually don't have it on my target bow just because I like just like the forks coming up on it. The thing I like about these two is that they've got felt around here and there, so I mean, you go and you can twist it, it's not going to make hardly any noise at all. So that's my opinion on drop away rests. They're really forgiving, all that good stuff. So let me know in the comments below what you use, what you prefer. I'm not trying to steer anybody away. This is just my opinion and what I were to suggest people. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below for more video ideas like I said in the previous video, and take care.